Yeah, so the reason we did this was because it's the natural place to do the biggest motoring festival in the country. Port Elizabeth is the Detroit of South Africa. It's also got something which no other city has, that in 20 minutes you can be doing anything you ever want to do with racing or driving or testing. So, for instance, on day one we had this jam jar rally, which you can see behind us is the greatest thing, which has been going now for 3 years. It's growing beautifully, it's for charity, they go all over, the cars are not allowed to be worth more than 30,000 Rand.
We're here in Port Elizabeth on the 2014 Jam Jar Rally. It's a concept that I started as a fun event, and it's grown quickly into a big event. Now we're starting to support a couple of local charities. The basic rules were quite simple. 4 guys in a team, the car has to be pumped, older than 30 years and under 30,000 Rand. Yeah, the route we did this year was from Port Elizabeth. We went over the Zooberg Mountains. En route, we had a couple of activities to do. I'd like to take it nationally. I think each town could have an event like this. It's a great concept. We've got a website, www.jamjarrally.co.za. So if you guys can have a look, you'll enjoy it.
Awesome. It was absolutely crazy, really crazy. Madness, but great fun. No, just the whole thing. I don't think I've laughed so much in all my life, in all honesty. And I didn't know that adults could be this badly behaved.
Today we got the World of Wheels, where almost any car that's in the market is on display today, as well as some beautiful vintage cars and those Mullises over there. There's a car over there nearly tipped on its one wheel. The guy's happy as can be.
You don't have to take it too. Do it.
At the same time, we've got a taxi test here to find the safest taxi driver in PE, which we're doing with Metro. It's a whole test system that they do.
You know, in some ways a lot more difficult than one thinks, but in other ways also very easy. I had no idea how tight how the turning circle. This has got such a tight turning circle. You can maneuver into little angles that look impossible initially. I had a lot of trouble trying to gauge how far I had, whether it was a meter or a meter. It's because I'm so bloody short, man. I can't see over the front here, so I had no idea in between me and the front.
Hey, it was almost tough, man. Yeah, because
as a younger brother,
I enjoy it, but it was tough. Because,
next one is going to be
difference is that the car is not the same car that I'm used to, and no music. It's a panel van. It's hot inside there.
Spider was built by Les Miller after the Second World War. It was the second of the specials that he built. First one was Jasper, then Spider, and finally Fat Man, that's over there. Spider was Les Miller's most successful race car. He had 6 national wins, starting in 1952 and 53, and going through until 54. Special cars were built after the Second World War because there were no factory race cars available. And so what happened is they bought sports cars, took the bodies off and built single-seater bodies on top of the old chassis, and then raced them. And then about the mid-50s, the factory cars started coming out, and the specials couldn't compete anymore after that. So that was the demise of the specials. We've been fortunate with our single-seater association to actually start this up again and enjoy the pleasures of driving these very historic cars.
Yeah, what we've got here is we've got 8 NSF 100s. They come from SAMRA in Johannesburg, which is South African Motor Racing Academy. We were given 8 of them with leathers and some boots and helmets. And then our job is to try and encourage racing from 8 years old, well, maybe a bit younger than that, up to 14-year-old. At the moment, we are running them on the racetrack here just to demonstrate the bikes. And then on the 13th of October, we'll have an open day in Port Elizabeth at the Kart Club. And any rider can come along. They'll be taught how to ride. Hopefully we'll have a little dyno roller there. The guy doesn't have to go on the track. We can teach them to change gears. We have an advanced class where the guys who have actually got experience in it, they can go out and do a couple of laps racing. And then after that, once you're happy, then you can join up with SAMRA and have a bike to race for the year.
The Historic Single-Seater Association was really a club formed some years ago, could be about 10 years ago now, for the explicit view of restoring and preserving historic racing cars and enjoying one another's company and having a go. It's really about racing. We do have a go, but we tend not to want to break things, and we don't nudge or anything like that, but we certainly have a good race and a good go. Today's race is a format of handicap racing because it allows for slower cars to have a bit of a go as well as the faster cars. So if you look really carefully, you find that towards the end of the race, all the cars are catching one another, and that's when some real dicing and overtaking takes place.
It was an awesome race. I just needed another lap to get my nemesis Spider, but yeah, really we worked on a handicap system today where it was a pursuit race, and that's how the historic races worked, so it's the reason we've gone back to that system, and it worked very well today. But it's a 1956 Lotus 11 that I pedal and join the guys keeping the old cars alive. It's a replica built on the 11s that Colin Chapman took to victory in 55-56 Le Mans. So only 750cc under the bonnet, so really have to pedal it hard. But PE is just a wonderful circuit, and the weather today is just perfect, so we've had such a wonderful day. Awesome! Well done, Rod.